What's going on, Crimson Tide fans? The Alabama Crimson Tide are off this week, so I thought it would be kind of fun if we just ran through some of the SEC matchups that are going down this week and, kind of break them down a little bit. And, if you guys are going to be betting on them or anything like that, we'll talk about some of the betting odds as well. Before we get into it, though, the biggest game of the weekend for the SEC, Tennessee taking on Oklahoma on the road. I want to hear from you guys in the comments section. Who do you guys got? If you think it's going to be Tennessee type T or if you think it's going to be Oklahoma type O at the pinned comment of today's video. All right, so like I said, the first matchup of the day, really it's the last matchup of the day, but it's the first one that we are going to talk about. 6:30 Central Time. It is a nighttime game. Look, I think this one's going to be a pretty fun game. Tennessee is a 7-point favorite in this game, which to me seems a little bit low, to be honest with you. I think Tennessee with Nico Iamaleava, who is just an absolute dog. I'll be honest, I'm pretty nervous for that game against Tennessee in Neyland Stadium. But look, first three games, Tennessee's 3-0. First three games, Oklahoma is 3-0, but they really have not looked very good. And when you're going against a guy like Nico Iamaleava at quarterback, he has been so accurate for Tennessee. You look at some of the throws that he has made, and it's not just the fact that, he's hitting windows or anything like that. He's hitting guys in stride, too. When you have the speed at wide receiver like Tennessee does, man, it is a hard combination to beat, and it is very hard to, keep up with these guys at wide receiver. Deontay Thornton Jr. is their leading receiver right now. Look out for Squirrel White. That dude is fast. I played one of our other hosts here at Chat Sports, Petey, last night. He is Tennessee in our Chat Sports Dynasty in College Football 25. Absolutely torched me with Squirrel White. So definitely somebody to also look at. When it comes to the rushers, they got Dylan Sampson leading when it comes to those leading rushers for Tennessee. Tennessee's got a lot of firepower, man. And I just do not think that Oklahoma is going to be able to, really keep them out of the end zone, to be honest with you, because they got Jackson Arnold at quarterback. And look, he's been okay this year. Had a real issue in the bowl game last year with some of those turnovers. I think he had like 3 interceptions in the bowl game last year. So, look, he's going to have to really step up for Oklahoma. Can run a little bit too, but I think the guy that he's really going to be hitting is going to be Deion Burks. He's a very good wide receiver as well. So if Oklahoma wants to have any chance in this game, I think they're going to have to hit Burks early, and they're going to have to hit him often. My score prediction for this game, though, like I said, it's a 7-point spread, which I think is, kind of ridiculous. I got Tennessee going into Oklahoma and just absolutely blowing out the Sooners. 49-17, give me the Vols. The next matchup that we're going to talk about, Florida against Mississippi State, two of the most mediocre, I don't know why I said it like that, mediocre teams in the SEC going up against each other in Stark Vegas. This might be actually a really fun game because, like I said, both of these teams are pretty mediocre. Florida right now has no idea really what they're doing at quarterback. Mississippi State, they've got a quarterback, but it's just going to take them a little bit, I think, to get in the groove of things. Florida, just a brutal loss against Texas A&M last week. And big question is, who's going to play quarterback for them? Is Graham Mertz going to be okay? He was hurt. DJ Lagway, very talented freshman coming in. He's got to be able to take care of the ball, though. And, against this Mississippi State team, Mississippi State's always a fun team, so never really know how they're going to be. They're going to be in Stark Vegas. It's going to be loud. Get those cowbells ready. Blake Shapen, I think he's okay, but, we'll see. Mississippi State doesn't really have much of a ground game, but, we'll see. I got Florida, though, in this one. I think it's going to be a fun trash game, to be honest with you. I think there's probably going to be a lot of turnovers, maybe not be, a lot of scoring. I got Florida in this one, 23-17. I want to hear from you guys, though, in the comments section one more time. Who do you guys got in this SEC matchup? If you think it's going to be Mississippi State type M, or if you think it's going to be Florida type F in the comment section of today's video. Guys, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor today. That is Factor Meals. And with football in full swing, look, A lot of times I don't really have time to cook, and that's why I like using Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals thanks to a menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are chef-crafted meals that are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you guys are, you will always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you guys waiting for? They have 35 different meal options and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every single week. You will always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you guys can trust. Head to factormeals.com/BamaChat50 and use promo code BamaChat50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month as well. That's promo code BamaChat50 at factormeals.com/BamaChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's video. The next matchup, we're going to talk about Arkansas going into at Auburn. I don't know why I said it like that either, but they're going to Jordan-Hare Stadium. I was kind of mixing things together there. Both teams 2-1 right now. Auburn, a 2-point favorite in this game. So another game that could be really fun, even though it's two teams that are, let's just call it like it is, pretty mediocre. Arkansas's, their offense, man, looks so explosive against Arkansas Pine Bluff, but it is Arkansas Pine Bluff. Oklahoma State, a just crushing 2 overtime loss in that game, and then goes and kind of gets a struggle win against UAB. Auburn, on the other hand, 73-3 win against Alabama A&M, but it is Alabama A&M. California comes to Auburn. They get the dub at Auburn, and in a game that's just very embarrassing for Peyton Thorne, honestly. So I think Hank Brown is going to be starting in this game for Auburn. He looked okay last week, 6 touchdowns. But, at the end of the day, it was also New Mexico that they played. So, but last year they lost to New Mexico State. So you never really know with some of those teams like that. But look, Hank Brown last week, 6 touchdowns. We'll see what he can do this week. Auburn still has Jarquez Hunter at running back. And look, it's Auburn. I don't like to give Auburn a lot of credit a lot of times, but Jarquez Hunter is a dog. He's going off again this year, 3 touchdowns already, 36 carries for 273 yards. Jarquez Hunter is a dog, and we'll see what he does this weekend against Arkansas. Arkansas's quarterback, though, Taylon Green, Boise State transfer. Look, he's been okay. I think he's been really fun to watch as well in the first couple of games of the season. I think, the big question for him, that completion percentage is just absolutely abysmal. Really a lot of those yards came in the first game of the season. So, we'll see. He's thrown a couple picks, but he is also very much dual threat. So we'll see what he can do. Auburn normally also has a pretty good defense, really no matter how bad their offense is, which is kind of crazy considering Hugh Freeze is supposed to be an offensive-minded head coach. But look, I don't like saying this, but I'm going to give Auburn the win in this game. Like I said, it is a 2-point spread. I think it's going to be close. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a really fun game to watch, even though these two teams are. I would love to see Auburn lose in this game, but I've got them winning this one 33-27. But I want to hear from you guys one more time. Who do you guys think is going to win? If you think it's going to be Auburn, type AUB, A-U-B in the comments. If you think it's going to be Arkansas, type A-R-K in the comments section right now. The last SEC matchup of the day is going to be Vanderbilt versus number 7 Missouri. Missouri, kind of a little bit struggling looking last week against against Boston College. It was Vanderbilt who played Georgia State last week and ended up getting the loss in that game. Georgia State has got some big boys up front, and they, at the end of the day, they did that. They big boyed Vanderbilt's, front offensive line. And look, Vanderbilt, it seemed fun to start the season. They got that overtime win against Virginia Tech. They go to Alcorn State, and people kind of start talking, ooh, Vandy might be a fun team. Well, They lose against Georgia State in that game. Missouri also 3-0, kind of struggled a little bit against Boston College, which doesn't really help my Bill Bryan is terrible takes. So, hopefully we'll move past that. But look, right now, Brady Cook, he's kind of going off again this year. He's just been super efficient with the ball, over 70% completion percentage. He's also doing a little bit of stuff on the ground, not, overly like a ton or anything like that, but definitely an athletic guy who can definitely move around in the pocket. Right now, look, Luther Burden is probably one of the top 2, top 3 wide receivers that are going to be taken in this coming NFL draft, but he is not their leading wide receiver right now. Theo Weiss, really think I said his name right there, 231 yards on 21 catches, but Luther Burden does have the 2 touchdown catches for Missouri this year. So, we will see, what they can do. But they also have, Vanderbilt also has Diego Pavia, who ended up beating Auburn last year when New Mexico State came to town. And, look, he's had a decent year so far, 6 touchdowns. He can do a lot on the ground for Vanderbilt as well. So if he can get out and, he can get moving on the ground, Vanderbilt maybe has a chance to, make some noise in this game. I don't think it's going to be enough noise, though. I think Missouri is going to take this one home 37-20. I do not think they cover that 20-point spread in this game. I do think it could be a fun game early on, but at the end of the day, I think Missouri is just going to, take over. Vandy maybe even score a garbage time touchdown to keep it, a little bit closer than it probably was most of the game. Last weigh-in of the day, guys. Who do you guys got in this SEC matchup? If you think it's Missouri, type Mizzou, or if you think it's going to be Vanderbilt, type Vandy in the comments section of today's video. And make sure you guys are subscribed. Obviously, Alabama is off today. It is their first bye week of the season. We got Georgia next week. We will have a watch party for that. We're also going to be doing a jersey giveaway for that. So make sure you guys are subscribed. And make sure you guys join us next Saturday for our Alabama versus Georgia watch party.